Hello. I realized the wiki of DCTRL in Vancouver has sat unrecognized for some time. So in this age of video stuff, I'm just going to read it. We're not even going to try to design a walkthrough of the space. We're just going to trial this. Late night stuff. I wrote the last revisions to this. This is on our GitHub, decentralvan/decentral, and the wiki. I did the last revisions on the 20th of May of this year. What up, Vancouver, Mad Pride. DCTRL is a Vancouver, BC community commons, which uses a non-hierarchical shared leadership structure to maintain a unique, autonomous event space and clubhouse in the middle of the city. By splitting the rent and voting on activities, decisions, and spends from our Bitcoin wallet, we are able to share resources and equipment that none of us could afford on our own. Plus, we get to have fun with a diverse and exciting group of friends. Here's a bit of information to get you started, whether you're just interested in the space or have just signed on as a member. Why should you become a DCTRL member? As a duocracy-driven community commons, the DCTRL Collective encourages all participants to run with their cool ideas for events, space improvements, and general introduction of new ideas. By joining the space, you'll not only have 24/7 access to one of the coolest locations in Vancouver, we're not biased on this, you'll also have the freedom and support to host your own meetups and events, to propose new collaborative projects, and new equipment to potentially purchase. The unique value add here, besides our focus on decentralization and disruptive technologies, is the fluidity of the space's use itself. You can co-work, incite political movements, create art, do programming, or just hang out in the evenings to lounge. Most of all, you'll be part of an exciting community holding interesting events. How to become a member? You can, of course, become a member simply by asking a senior member on site at the space during an event or public drop-in. Another way is to drop the hyperlink, join our pretty active Slack chat. In Slack, you can ask anything you want in the new members channel. We will also invite paying members into the active members channel. We can invite you to view our Google Events calendar or sign you up to be a member. In our other event channels, there are some pretty lively talks about politics, free and open source software, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and so on. A final option, but one that might take a little longer to receive a response to, is to email us at, and it'll definitely take longer to receive a response to this because there's a typo and it says info@control.ca, not decontrol.ca. So the duration of a little longer to receive a response may stretch to forever on this one. Oof. Okay, once you're a member, we tried to decentralize the onboarding, and I think this is doing all right. We gotta document this. Once you're a member, feel free to ask one of the older members for an on-site walkthrough of the space. You're gonna be a lot more comfortable and take advantage of its benefits more fully if you actually know where everything is. Again, you can reach out on Slack for this. We use, drop a hyperlink here, GitHub's issues interface to manage our shared to-dos, planned projects, and tasks, especially the follow-up to votes and ideas from members' meetings. We also use a hyperlink incoming GitHub board to run our emerging bounty system, in which Bitcoin bounties for tasks that have been deferred are proposed, voted on, and then can be claimed and completed. We have members' meetings once to twice a month. That's not true anymore. It's once a month. It's the third Thursday, I think. It's on the calendar. And this is the best way to truly get the hang of how things are run around here. After 3 months membership, you can become a full-fledged voting member. Vote on those Bitcoin wallet spends. You, at any time from when you sign up, you can host a meetup in any time slot that is not currently occupied on the DCTRL calendar. Please give the group a heads up when you do. If you'd like to create a recurring weekly, fortnightly, monthly meetup, that's the side of the word meetup, please run it by the active members group first for consensus. Drop in the hyperlink of the sweet wiki page Camro on how to run a meetup. Members' responsibilities. It's not all fun and games. We're not all just here to play. We're not just playing grab ass. When you introduce people to the space for the first time, give them a proper elevator pitch on our purpose and operations. If you're not super familiar, you can just run with the description at the top of this page or direct them towards our website. Our website is currently down. God, the decentralist life is a hard one. We're gonna have the hosting up soon, it sounds like. Going for some DigitalOcean type shit, and then it will be www.dctrl.ca again. Back to the point. The key is to get people excited, and especially to introduce them to projects, 3D printer, sidewalk lights, hosting meetups and events that will draw their interest toward collaborating with us, contributing, bringing it into this commons. Okay, often actually overlooked these days, and we've been lucky for a while here, but still, monitor the space for strangers wandering in. It's much better to ask someone who they are than to worry about seeming rude. In the somewhat distant past, we had a few thefts from people wandering in off the street, so it's crucial to keep the door locked and maintain vigilance about who's going through. And ask members who have been around longer than you if anything out of the ordinary arises. It's better safe than sorry, so @channel in Slack's active members that you get invited to as an active member if something strange seems to be going on. We would rather be bothered if it seems to be something that could affect the integrity of us being in this space. Like someone's trying to gain entry, or the door won't open. Wild things like that. There's flooding. Anything like that, you need to know. Try to keep your personal items out of the way, especially once you leave for the day. I'm really bad at this, and I apologize to the commons. I am a slob. I'm like a 12-year-old. I will leave my stuff everywhere. Just kick it to the side. Do your dishes before leaving for the day, and make sure that if you make coffee or food, you clean up after yourself. Are you the last person leaving after 9 p.m.? Top rules: pick up any obvious trash around the space. Oh, yay, we don't need to cover the top of the main trash can rule anymore because we don't have this disgusting. We got a nice little step can that's very classy now, so ignore that. But do lock the deadbolt on the front door as you leave. Beyond this, we'd appreciate if you followed the hyperlink end of night checklist, because that's got its own wiki page. Is the garbage gross? Hyperlink, here's how to take it out. Seriously, guys, go to this GitHub wiki. We made it. Nobody reads it. And so people don't stick around because they don't know what's going on. It's all there. Final and hopefully heartfelt thing from this. Contributing to the space. The greatest contribution you can make to Decontrol is expanding our circle of dynamic, excited participants, especially by hosting unique meetups that will bring in more community involvement. It's also always helpful if you can nab free, high-quality tech equipment for the space, or, best of all, donations. Helping with general cleanup, attending to GitHub issues and fixing things up, and showing up and participating in meetings are all core contributions that are appreciated. This place only works because our dedicated crew puts the work in, and the outcome and benefits are definitely worth it. And I mean, a couple months after writing this, I had the privilege to go for the first time to Burning Man, and with Camp Decentral doing Build Week there, I very much liked the phraseology from the organization that runs Burning Man, Black Rock City. It's not your job, it's just your turn. I believe that post-industrialist exploitative styles of like the free market of capitalism taught us all to kind of feel that by shirking out of work, we're fucking over the man. Or I don't know, that's at least where I grew up, doing blue-collar work, doing service work and stuff like that. It's like, oh, can I sneak out of some work? And we need to reframe in decentralist communities and in collaborative communities. We need to reframe it as you're only fucking over your own people and yourself by half-assing something. This is something that I think STEM and computer science and stuff get inherently, because it's the central programming or principle of programming rather. We keep it simple, stupid, and the inherent idea that by cutting some time for you as a coder while you're making something, if you were to try to make shortcuts there, you are amplifying the amount of wasted time in the world for every user who ever uses that half-assed program that you didn't do the due diligence on. You just released it out there half-assed. Anyways, I realize I'm